Tribe. Welcome to another episode of Badger's Heavy Hitters. I'll be your host today, also known as Badger. And I'm sure a lot of you guys remember Jimmy.
What's going on?
Jimmy happens to be my sponsor. I didn't think there was anyone out there that was much sicker than me, but he proves on a daily basis that he's very much just as sick as I am. And that's why we seem to fit like a Rubik's Cube, Jimmy, you've done quite a bit with your life since you turned it around. I mean, you came in as a homeless, 14-year homeless person, a bum. Yeah, okay, let's just keep it real. Bum, stinking from wherever. But
I wasn't a bum. I didn't bum for money. I worked every day, but
oh yeah.
You're right. I was stinking, smelly, dirty.
You had a beard down to here, and you generally grow it out at Christmas time anyway, so that you can get all the little kitties to sit on your lap. And you got your little grandson going on, and I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean that
I'm growing it right now. I am saying it, people. After the holidays, I shave it off.
Right, and that's when we pick the fleas and ticks out. Yeah. So, Jimmy's tale is one that not everyone wants to endure, but it's also one that many families have to face, and that's finding a loved one of yours dead behind the use of narcotics. We've touched on that a little bit. We talk about that on occasion. You get choked up behind it still every time, as do I. It's one thing to die. It's one thing to die, but to go out as a heroin addict or something, it's very traumatic on the families.
Lose your child is not cool.
Right. I mean, we're supposed to outlive our children, and you know who my son is, and you know what I have to wake up and deal with on a daily basis, bro. I do within a half hour of each and every day. I think of my son, and throw a quick one out there. Like, whatever you're gonna do, God, he's yours. He belongs to you now. So, and that was a hard pill for me to swallow, as I'm sure it was a hard pill for you to swallow. You have a famous line that you get these big old rough, tough Cocoa Puffs coming in, and you'll be like, do you want to live or do you want to die?
Do you want to live or do you want to die? That's what it comes down to.
And the majority of them in the beginning were like, I don't give a shit either way or whatever. But after they've done a little bit of work, what's their answer almost 100% of the time?
It's when you do the work.
Once they've started to do the work, step 1, 2, 3, they get on board. What do they?
Hopefully you see it. Until you get clear with this, until the drugs leave or the alcohol leaves or whatever you're doing, everything seems perfect, even when it's delusional.
Right.
Everything seems the way it's supposed to be. I think my life is okay, but deep down inside, I have 42 years of methamphetamine, and I have the teeth to prove it.
Right.
And those 42 years have taught me a big lesson. I lost the battle. I lost. There's nothing that was positive in this at all. I look back and I got stuck when I became homeless for those 14 years. Do I want to live or do I want to die? It didn't matter. And quite frankly, during those, not so much the 14 years, I partied till I was homeless. And my family didn't matter to me anymore. Because I thought everything was fine. Everything was working okay.
And that's what our head leads us to believe too. You know what I mean?
I lied my whole entire life over this.
Lied to yourself more than anybody.
And today I run a sober living, and if it wasn't for things that I'm doing today, I have IOP. I teach people drug and alcohol. I'm 65 years old. Okay, I'm not a kid anymore.
For intensive outpatient, for those of you that don't know.
Right. So I work for a company that I do it once a week. I have like 6 Ponzi's in my pocket. Some old man told me 5 years ago, and by the way, I have a little over 5 years clean right now. And some old man said to me they were talking about their homes and how long they've been in business. And they've been in business 9 years, and thousands of people have gone through their hands. And how many people made it that didn't do the steps? I don't care what you use. It doesn't matter if it's NAAA, HA, MA, MIB, AOL. I don't really care.
Overcomers Anonymous.
If you're a speed freak, you are.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter. You just got to apply. You got to get something to live in and apply it. You know. So can I tell you what? Can I talk about something today?
Handle your scandal.
I'm going to talk about something today. I'm going to tell you why it is what it is for the people that are out there who are in drugs or in alcohol. I'm going to tell you why it is. Number one, before I came into the program, I thought you were a drunk in the corner and you were a drug addict. That's not the truth, okay? That's not the truth at all. The truth is, I'm going to stick up for you for a second. You're sick. And I didn't realize that I was sick. I just thought I liked dope. I thought I liked alcohol. That wasn't it. Something inside me put me in a position. It wasn't the dope. It wasn't the alcohol. It's what I like doing with the dope. It's the secret high behind what I like doing. So I just recently spoke on something, and I like to bring it up. I'm going to tell you why you are like you are. Because when you grew up, even from the second time you took a sip of milk, we learned how to be selfish, self-seeking for that milk. And soon you're going to learn how to be dishonest. And you lay there in fear, and your eyes don't even open. You don't even know what's going on. The character defects of life hit you the day that you came out.
Like crying when you're not really hungry, but you want some attention, or
you knew that when you cried the first time, somebody picked your ass up.
Stuck a nipple in your mouth.
That's it.
I try doing it around Harriet now, and it doesn't work as often.
Oh. All right, so this is what happens. So when you're from the ages of 6 to 10, I mean, you're starting to see, you're a little kid, but you're starting to realize what's going on around you. But then you get some hair around your dick. Might I say that?
Yeah, I prefer we didn't.
Just did. Okay, I'm sorry. So what happens is we get what happens as we grow up, and from the ages of from 10 to 15, we might decide to go to another area. To leave our street and go to a couple streets away, and then from the ages of 15 to 20, where we really want to explore the world. I may not have a car yet, or I have a car. I'm now leaving my territory, and I put myself in a position to be hurt. I don't realize it yet. I'm at a party. And this has probably happened to every single person out there. Either you did it or you did it to someone else. You looked in, you saw a girl, or you saw a guy, and you looked at him from across the room and you really dug that person. And say that you haven't done any drugs yet. This is like your first time. And all of a sudden you go, God, I really want to be with that girl. She's so hot. I mean, man, I'll do anything. And all of a sudden you wind up meeting this girl. And then you wind up leaving with this girl, and you go back to her place, you go back to your place, and she pulls out a bag of dope. Or he pulls out a bag of dope. And then you got to make the supreme sacrifice of whether or not you're going to do it or not. That happened to everybody that's probably listening to this video. So for me, I made a decision. I decided to use it. But before it happened, I heard it in my ear. Are you sure this is really what you do? Is this what you really want to make you feel good? Is this what you're trying to tell me? People, we tricked our brain. I'm going to tell you how it happened. You're going to see this. It's very clear. You're sick. So anyway, I say, yes, I want to do it. I want to look like everybody was okay. Nobody was dying. I know. Everybody was high. I wanted to feel that buzz. So I did it. And it allowed me to have that feeling. And then I decided to do it again one day. And all of a sudden the brain goes, oh, that's that stuff. That's what you want me to use to make you feel good. And I said, yeah, I want to feel good. And I did it again.
It gives you the courage to step out of yourself. It allows you to put a different mask on and go introduce yourself or whatever, be the comedian or whatever it takes to get their attention.
100%. You have hit it right on the head. I put a mask on. I wanted to pretend that I was somebody that I wasn't.
Right.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And every time I wanted to be cool, I wanted to be part of the clique, I wanted to be doing that. But deep down inside, I was scared. I was terrified. And every time I was about ready to do it, that little voice would come in my head and would tell me, you know what? You sure this is what you want to do? And I go, come on, man, I want to get loaded. And I did it over and over and over again. So then one day, for me, it was 42 years later. But for other people who are out there that see it earlier, and I sure hope you do see it, you don't want to walk in my shoes. I ruined 2 marriages and have a dead son. You don't want my life. At least then when I lived. You don't want to wait till you're 60 years old to figure this out, okay? So maybe somebody out there who's listening, you're going to get this and you're going to say, you know what? The old man is right. Listen to me just for this time.
Nobody wants to hear us. We're washed up. They know better than us. They know so much more than us. It's not going to happen to them.
Yeah. Somebody's going to listen. Somebody's going to hear this, okay? Somebody's going to hear this. So all of a sudden, you know what happened? How many times has this happened? How many times have you found yourself sitting on a curb, on a park bench, in a chair by yourself, alone, everybody left, and you got your head buried into the sole of your hands, and you're going, what the fuck did I just do? And you're fucking crying in the sole of your hands. I can't believe what I just did. How many of you have experienced that? Every one of you. How many times does it has to happen? How many times does that grace have to come in and save you for you not to listen to it anymore? And then you go right back and doing the same thing. And this is what happens. So when you're sitting there, here's the trick right here, people. You're sitting there and you go, God, I feel like shit. I don't want to feel like this anymore. And the brain goes, dude, I know what makes you feel better.
Right.
Where's my dope? Where's my dope? I'll make you feel better. You don't have to, I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to make you feel better. Sorry. This is what you told me that you wanted me. What are you trying to do? Confuse me? This is what goes on in the damaged brain. It looks like this. And then you got no clean time like this. This damaged brain's just gonna play games on you.
You know how many times I woke up to paramedics around me?
Oh, God,
I'm
so sorry.
You know what I mean? Like being taken away, the cops say, well, you either go with us or you go with them. You know what I mean? Well, of course I'm going to go with them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Here I am just being brought back from death's door and can't wait for that 6 to 12 hours to get out of there to do what? Go get high again. You know?
What happens is we're stuck in this world. We put ourselves there. We tricked ourselves, but we put ourselves there. And all of a sudden, we're expecting, you want to stop, right? But you're expecting the whole world to change just like this. And you know what? It isn't going to happen. It's not going to change just like that. It's not the way it works. It's going to take time. So when you're out there, go, God, you know, I'm doing this deal right now, and Jesus, nothing's getting any better. What the fuck am I doing? I feel like it's not working. And all of you go, fuck it. And you go back out again. That vicious cycle of not wanting to change what you've been doing this whole entire time and expecting something to happen that's going to be different we call that insanity. If you don't change this, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to get stuck forever. You don't change what's hurting you, and you're not going to get any better. You know,